We're two friends who aren't afraid to speak our minds, share our stories, and maybe even get a little messy along the way.
So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's get scrappy. We're going to tackle topics that matter, share our opinions, and have some fun doing it.
Real talk, no apologies, unleashing our inner Scrappy. This is Two Scrappy Chicks. Hi, this is a bonus episode. If you remember a couple episodes ago, we had talked about me losing my cat Minx, and then we talked about rescues. Well, this week, excuse me, I should say last week, it was a very eventful week. My husband was in the hospital, and I had come home after visiting him, and I was looking for the cat. Her given name is Obie, but I call her Scrappy Coco. And I found her. She was on Dexter's dog bed in the bedroom. And I was like, okay, time to eat. And then I go to feed her. And she usually comes out of the laundry room after I feed her. And she didn't. I was like, that's weird. So I go in the laundry room and she's laying in her litter box. I'm like, okay, you don't need to, if you want to sleep, you don't sleep in your litter box. So I picked her up. Here, finish your food. And then I go check on her again, and she's just laying there near her food. So I'm like, okay, I don't think this is good. So I picked her up, and I laid her down on the other puppy bed. We have several puppy beds. And just kept an eye on her, and when Dex would walk by, she would look up at him. I would pet her. She'd lift up her head. And I gave her food and water, and then she crawled off the puppy bed, and then realized she couldn't really stand up, so I went to go grab her litter box and food, and when I came back, I was like, where did she go? She dragged herself into her bed, which is a cube bed. It's this cube that has a bed on the bottom. It's a circle to crawl in, bed on the bottom, and then a bed on the top. And she crawled in there. And I'm like, okay. So I just kept an eye on her. I was giving her food and water. And then I went and grabbed the zip up playpen, I call it, that if I wanted to ever take them outside, I would put them in that zip-up playpen, and they could be outside, but they're contained in the play yard. So I went and grabbed that, and I put her litter box in there and her food, and she only came out once to use the litter box and then went back into the cube, and she was starting to fade away, and her breathing really slowed down. So it was a very sleepless night, and I had called my mother-in-law and told her what was going on, and this was last Tuesday, and she's like, okay, we'll call the vet in the morning. And like I said, I did not sleep really well. I maybe would sleep an hour or two here and check on her and that. And I was all alone. No one else was here, so that was not fun. And in the morning, I remembered the vet that she goes to, and that's where I took Minx. They were closed. They're closed on Wednesdays, and I was like, oh my God. So I called the vet that we take the dogs to, which Bella and Xavier who have passed. We took them there, and now Dexter goes there. And Wednesday is their day of surgeries, and a doctor wouldn't be available till 2. And I go, I don't know if she's gonna hang on. I said, I gotta call around, and they're like, okay. So I did. I called the sister company of the place that I took Minx, and they were like, we have every half hour. So I said, okay, we'll be there at 9:30. And it's just so hard. I mean, I can't believe she hung on for so long, and her breathing was just so shallow. So we took the trip, said our goodbyes, and then they did they said they would be doing a paw print, the clay paw print, and that they cook it and stain it, and it'll be really nice, and they'll call me when it's done. And I haven't heard back yet, so I'm sure that's a process. So then I had the day off that day, last Wednesday. So then I was gathering her stuff up, and I kept the litter boxes, and I kept her food bowls and just put them in a bag, and they're in the garage. And I told my husband, I'm like, just put it up in the attic so I don't see it. As far as her bed, I threw it out because while she was laying in it, she wet. So, and while I was there, the vet said one of two things happened. I mean, her age, she's 18. She either had a stroke or her kidneys failed. And yeah, I mean, she outlived my husband's dog. She was originally my stepdaughter's cat. They got her in 2007. And she grew up with another cat that his other daughter, that was her cat. She took him. And unfortunately, he passed away about a year ago. So, Obie outlived him. She outlived my husband's dog he had before I met him, Duke. And then she outlived Zavy. She outlived Bella. And she outlived Minx. So now she's like, okay, I outlived all you guys. Now it's my time to join you. I really got attached to her, you know. She was like a monkey. Her routine would be, I'd come home and she was like a dog waiting for me. And she totally, at 18, I don't know when she did, but it must have been gradual, but she lost her hearing. But I think she knew when I would come home, or if I was in the garage, that I got home, because the dog would be there by the door. So then I think that was her cue. Okay, she must be home. If not, when she'd see me walk in, she would like come for me, like, okay, feed me. and then once she was done eating, of course she never had the perfect timing, because I would be eating and she would decide it's time to jump up on the recliner and crawl up and lay on my shoulder like a parrot. yeah, she never had the timing right. And she would lay there for a bit, and then she would go lay on her cube bed, which is right next to the recliner. And then at night, she would come in the bedroom and she would sleep literally on my head, on my pillow. But then she would start waking up like 3 in the morning, and we had the bedroom door shut, and she'd be like, ow, like howling. She was just an itty bitty thing. Like, she was more fur than anything. And she would wake us up, and I would be like, okay, I'll let you out, because she wanted to go eat. She always had hard food. And so after a while, I'm like, Cat, I need sleep. So she would sleep on one of the puppy beds in the living room. And it's funny, we have pet stairs for our bed that Bella wouldn't use, or did she? She might have eventually. Xavier wouldn't, because it originally got up for him, and the cat discovered him, so then she started using it, and then ever since we had Dexter, it's almost 2 years we've had him, he would use the stairs. It was funny. But Obie she was a dog cat. Like, I feel like at times she didn't realize she was a cat, like, because she hung, with the dogs. Like I said, she liked the dogs more than cats. And when we had Bella and Xavier, all 3 of them would be laying in the round bed. And I'm like, I don't know how y'all fit, or any other bed. And she was always snuggle up to them, and they allowed it. Bella sometimes would chase her. Xavier didn't chase her. She was very loving to him, and he accepted it. Xavier didn't know how to act like a dog because he was raised with a bunch of cats until Bella came along and showed him, hey, dude, you're a dog. This is how you be a dog. And when we got Dex and he met Obie, he was like scared of her. But eventually they became best of friends. And animals grieve. After I came home Wednesday morning, Dex likes to go into the spare room, which is also my office. And he just kept peeking around the corner and looking at me and then going back in the room and that. And then he would just look at me and he would like walk around, look for the cat, and he noticed her stuff is gone. And then he just look at me and he's probably like, okay, I seen you take 1 and now you took 2. What is going on? Am I next? So yeah, animals grieve, and when we have to like run out, even if it's just a little bit, he's like giving me such the sad, guilty face, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, you won't be alone for long, don't worry. So yeah, it's been rough. It's been a week. I hope this week is better. I don't know if it's grief-wise, if it's going to be any easier that this happened 3 weeks from each other. I know, you just never know with animals. It's just crazy. They hide when they're sick, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're just trying so hard to stay, So like I said, this was unexpected and heartbreaking. And I had just gotten my keychain, memorial keychain of minks, and this happens, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? So Dexter is lonely, and we will find him a playmate. And as far as me getting another cat, never say never, but not right now. And I need to think about what kind I would want. I mean, probably more than likely not a kitten. Like when I got Minx, she was like, what, 12 weeks old? Probably a little bit older. Maybe even one that's like a year old or so, you know. And like I said, I have no plans of doing that anytime soon. So, but when my animals pass, I play on my phone a playlist, and I play Circle of Life, Elton John from The Lion King. I play You're in My Heart, which is from the Tarzan movie, and that's sung by Phil Collins. And then Carrie Underwood's See You Again, and then a Christian song by Matthew Redman, You Never Let Go. So, I already, went back to work because I gotta keep moving forward, and I gotta give myself time to grieve. And when I lost Bella, my friend sent me a book, and I'm trying to think of the name. Something, is it Fur Angels? When you lose a fur angel, something along those lines. So I need to read that because it gives you suggestions on how to cope. And I was in the denial stage with Minx because it took me over a week to even go to the room where her stuff was. And I was just getting out of the denial stage, and then this happens with Scrappy Coco. So I feel like I took 2 steps forward and now 2 steps back. So now I'm mourning the loss of 2 cats. And like I said in the previous podcast, I have longevity with animals. I don't know what my secret is. I just do. And gosh, if my dream is to be out in the country on a ranch and have horses and goats, maybe some sheep, some cows, and like all these dogs and cats. Maybe even our own rescue. So yeah, I thought I'd pop on here and do a little bonus episode and tell the story of what happened. And like I said, I have been through this times and times and times before, but this is like the first time, gosh, going probably, oh gosh, First time since my childhood that I've not had a cat. I've had a cat all those years. I had a cat when I was like little. And then our first cat, his name was Tiger. He was an orange tabby. And then he passed. And then we didn't have a cat until I think I was third grade when my sister brought home a cat. And then the other one brought home another. And then the one passed and we still had the other cat. And I tried to get a kitten, and our cat was just like, nah, I don't think so. So I had to wait till I moved down, and then that's when I got Blackie, who I had for 19 years. And then after Blackie, it was Minx and Jinx. And then Jinx somehow got out and never came back. And I want to hope, I wanted to keep telling myself that somebody took her in and she had a good life, and maybe she's still alive. And Obie, I've known Obie since 2012 when I met T, and I was like, gosh, she's just the coolest. She's just so lovable. I don't know if I will ever know a cat that was amazing as her and loved dogs like she did. She was so accepting, so tolerant. And it's weird because I feel like my mind's playing tricks on me, because I swore I heard her meow this morning. And the other day I swore I seen her in the bathroom. So I just think either it's her ghost or it's just part of the grieving process. So that is what happened last week, and I just got to keep moving forward one foot after the other. And it's grief is, it's not fun. It's not fun to go with. And some people who've never had pets, they may not understand, and they may look at it as, oh my God, it's a pet. Well, it was more than that. Us pet owners, we treat our pets like our children and their family. And when especially when you've had animals that long, and like I said, with Blackie, he was with me throughout these seasons of getting married, getting divorced, in a different relationship. That relationship ended. And then I still had him for about a year later. And then Minx had her during my single years, up until, and then I met T, and Minx and I were a package deal, and and then Obie, aka my Scrappy Coco, she pretty much became my cat. And I'm the one that fed her, took care of her, cleaned her litter box, and loved her. It's just hard. It's just really hard. And my late mom, when she lost the last of our cats, she was like done. She goes, I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. And I'm not done. There's still animals out there that need to be rescued. And like I said, if you're looking for a cat or dog, animal control has animals, shelters, rescues. I'm telling you, there's such a difference in getting a rescue versus a purebred. I'm not dogging on purebreds. People want to get their pet from a breeder, and that's fine. But having rescues, there's nothing better, in my opinion, because it's a who rescued who, and I have that sign, who rescued who. So, okay. Well, like I said, this was a bonus episode. I just wanted to pop on and explain what happened. And we'll be going through the grieving process like all over again. I'm probably back to stage 1 since it happened so close together. So, but like I said, if you're looking for a pet to adopt, like they say, adopt, don't shop. And then, of course, like Bob Barker would say, please spade or neuter your animal to keep the pet population down. Okay, until next time, we have episodes coming up about domestic violence, since this is October and it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. All right. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, like, and leave a review. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in, chicks. Join us next time for more real talk and scrappy vibes. Don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast for more fun content. We are at 2 Scrappy Chicks on Instagram.